I want to go out right now to the Speedway out in Hagerstown. Real America's Voice, great investigative reporter Ben Berquam. You've been with him, Ben. Tell us, what was today like? Because today is really the first day back to work. I heard the rigs went and they went without their trailers, right? So tell us what went on today.
Yeah, it was beautiful, Steve. We just got back here to Hagerstown Speedway. We were out for the last several hours going around the Beltway. And as you know, if you've driven that, a little bit of traffic makes a lot of traffic. And these guys, we're talking thousands of vehicles. It was wall-to-wall gridlock in many places. And the support came out en masse across the overpasses. Again, people are coming out. We've got more trucks coming. You can see behind me. And I just love it. It's just an American party. It's like the Woodstock of conservatism. You got this dog hanging out in the truck, riding along with his owner. This is the best of what America has to offer. And this is just the beginning, Steve. I want to tie it to everything that you're doing the next hour of the show. It all ties together. This is about 2022 and 2024. We cannot let off the gas.
By the way, Ben, you're getting pretty good there. I'm gonna steal that tagline. But here's the question: now that they're there, they've come all the way across country. It's been very peaceful. You've had every overpass. Spiropoulos and Jan have done such a great job. By the way, Jan's going to join us at the top of the next hour because I didn't want to cram Ben. But Ben, what is their task and purpose now? And I understand there's some senior guys. There's all kind of, I'm hearing all kind of scuttlebutt of who's going to go out there tomorrow to see them. What are the drivers? And they're in their mind, what's their objective now?
Well, it's much more than just mandates. It's much more than just the vaccine or mask mandates. This is really about tyranny that's been ongoing for years. A lot of these drivers came all the way across from California, and if you know anything about California regulations on truckers, they've been out of control forever, from CARB to the new emission standards to the electronic logs and everything else. And really what it comes down to is tyranny across the board, and really the vaccines and the mandates, the mask mandates, were just the straw that broke the camel's back. These guys are fed up, they're pissed off, and when you talk about warriors that'll stand up for America, I think that's the real reason why Joe Biden and the Democrats are so afraid of what's happening right now. You talk about people that will tell you to your face what they think, and they're not afraid to do it. Truck drivers are the salt of the earth. These guys don't mess around. They put their, they're out there every single day in and day out, from morning till night, driving the trucks, filling the shelves, stocking the grocery stores that we eat from. If they stopped working, America would start starving. And that's the reality of what it is. And I think the Democrats realize they have a group of people that actually work for a living coming to D.C. to call them out. And if this happens, when this happens, if these guys actually go on the streets of D.C. and the mainstream media actually does their job and spreads the message, the entire American populace is going to start changing direction. That's what they're afraid of. These guys are going to meet with some of the representatives. The question I have, if you're meeting with the Ted Cruzes of the world, the Rand Pauls, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and Matt Gaetz, you're really preaching to the choir. The question is, what is it going to take to meet with some of the Democrats, maybe some of the sane-minded Democrats, if they still exist, that are worried about 2022 and 2024 going forward? That's where the rubber's going to meet the proverbial road. And that's what we're going to see over the next few days. These guys aren't going anywhere. I've talked to guys from Missouri, Texas, from Wisconsin, from Washington State, from California. They drove their rigs over here, and they said they're not leaving until something changes.
I want to also say, I think that there's certain people that had to just take off. They came across for the 10 or 11 days. They made their point. They were part of the convoy. Some of them got to go back to work, pick up loads. But you're actually, and we saw this with Vernon Jones the other day down in Georgia, you've got many more from the Mid-Atlantic and the South that are in the Midwest are actually coming together. This thing is actually growing. Is that correct, Ben?
That's right. It is growing, and the beauty of it is, next time, just do this for me. Next time you're on a freeway, count the number of semis that you pass, that you pass, that are out on the roads. This is a tiny fraction of what's out there. And I think what we're going to start seeing is a rotation of truckers that say, you know what, these guys did it for 10 days, I could do my 10 days. You start seeing that across America, and maybe it's these guys this month and maybe a core group that stay here, and then we have 10,000 more next month and 20,000 more the next month. I mean, we're talking about something that could really, really start to grow, and there are tens of thousands of rigs out there that are watching what's happening and saying, you know what, I'm ready. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to take a vacation, take my 2 weeks, take my family, and I'm going to take my truck down and join this thing. And I think that's what we're starting to see. We're hearing convoys starting to converge all over the Northeast, all over the Northwest, that are all coming to the same place with the same message. It's time to end the tyranny, to get back to freedom and liberty, to what this country was founded on. And ultimately, these guys are like, if we don't do it now, we're going to lose this nation forever. And you know, it's funny, we asked Mike, the guy I was riding in with, the lead truck driver, Landis, and he said, he was asked all the time, or he's been asked several times, why does it take the truck drivers? And his answer is, I don't know, but nobody else was doing it, so we decided to do it. And that's really what's happening. People are finally standing up, and I think we're going to see not just truck drivers, but people from all over America say, enough is enough, we've had enough, and we're going to take this country back.
Yeah, no, it's self-organizing. It's amazing. Now, where do people go? Is the People's Convoy? I want to make sure everybody's safe. They've had safety and security for 12 days. They go to the peoplesconvoy.org to find out all the logistics. And Ben, give us how people, I know you're doing a great job out there for Real America's Voice, and you're going to be out there for a couple of days. How do people get to you and your reporting?
Yes, and as you mentioned, peoplesconvoy.org. You can find our reporting, americasvoice.news, obviously on America's Voice. Frontlineamerica.com is mine, and then at Ben Berquam on all social media. I've been going live on Getter. That's my primary platform to go live from, so check it out at Ben Berquam.
And real quickly, your show, Law and Border, when's the next episode?
We're actually heading down. It's just nonstop. We're heading down. We had our premiere episode a couple weekends ago. I'm going to be heading down back to La Jolla, Texas next week, and Pinell County, Arizona. So we'll be having a new episode coming out in April.
Yeah. It's a hit. Okay.